Listening can be a problem if you're easily distracted. Talking to one person or even a group can be pretty hard, even if you're the one who's talking and is really shy. But listening is just as difficult as talking. Listening is a communication skill that helps improve your relationships like family members, friends, or even romantic other. This skill is used every day and many people have problems. There are tips and tricks to help better your everyday listening skills. Improving relationships, showing interest, and having face to face contact. These 3 points can make a difference in anyone's life. I'd also like to point out that listening in a group is an attribute to becoming a leader. Listening to people's problems help reassure and give comfort to a person in need. This helps with anybody's, with a sensitive situation. For instance, a death in the family member, or just losing a job, or even you know, life's getting you down. The first main point I want to get at is that listening can better your relationship with the people you just meet, or even the people you may know, whether it be from work, family, friends, etc. Engaging with others can improve your communication skills in the distant future. Listening will benefit you in remembering important information for work. For example, your boss has a conversation with you about some important meeting and he asks you to join him because he needs someone to write down and recite the information discussed during the meeting. The meeting ends, your boss wants you in his office to review what you both were listening to. You remember what the meeting's key points were, but your boss missed out on that information. This looks good for you. All this was accomplished because your listening skills were on point. Remembering what people said shows that you were listening and focused. Like McCormack said, once you've understood, interpreted, and evaluated a message, it gets stored into your memory. On a side note, listening definitely is important nowadays when you have school and work and everything else. Listening definitely does help you memorize what needs to be memorized. For example, you have a test and you don't have time to study, but you remember what your teacher said just because of you using your listening skills. Next point I like to discuss is how active listening shows interest on what someone is saying. Talking to someone can cause some problems if you're not listening to them. When on the phone or looking somewhere else shows that you're not interested. The other person can tell whether you're not engaged due to your body language that you present, which is negative feedback. And that's basically when you're not following up or paying attention to the person, that's talking. One way to fix that is using positive feedback, which is keeping eye contact and using back channel cues like yes and uh-huh. In the book, Choices and Connections, Ortiz and McCormack said, skillful listeners do more than simply attend and comprehend. They convey the results of their listening to speakers by using verbal and nonverbal behaviors known as feedback. Final point I want to make is the fact that face to face contact is fading, with technology being so advanced that many people I know don't talk to each other. All they do is text one another and don't even make eye contact. They claim to be listening, but clearly they're not. This is called pseudo listening. It's somewhat unethical only because of how deceptive it is. Social media is the only way to keep up with anything nowadays. All these points show that not everyone can listen without some sort of help. According to Addictive Tips, 40% of the population is addicted to their phones. These people don't even know what the world can offer. When listening to others, giving feedback shows that you're engaged and focused. Relationships are bonds that people make. So no matter what you do or say, things will get worse or better. But it'll mostly get better. Listening makes us more likable. According to Matt Four in Three Ways Listening Can Make Your Life Better, there are so many people that want to talk that listeners stand out, like rare and high priced commodities. People with an ear to lend are simply more popular. Listening is key in everyday life, and people nowadays should appreciate it a little more. My name is Mikkel, and thank you for listening to What We Hear, What We Want to Hear.